Hello, AP Psychology students. This video today is going to walk you through some of the highlights of the course syllabus, kind of break it down for you. I know this stuff can be kind of dry. Afterwards, there is a quiz on Moodle for you, so you want to make sure you pay close attention. So we're going to break it down for you. So I have pulled up a copy of the syllabus, and you'll be able to find this on Moodle in the tabs, and I'll show you in a different video. You'll be able to know where to find those tabs. So anyway, we've got our syllabus up here. We've got the name of the course, this PSY 111. That is the DMAC name of the course. So if you wondered, it's PSY 111, which is Introduction to Psychology, and that may help you later on when you're deciding what college to go to, and you can put the course information in and they'll know how to code it and transfer to your college. But we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. That's my name, Jesse Dowell. We got our email. So times I'm available outside of class. So yeah, this year is going to be weird, but this is generally how I operate during normal times. And we'll kind of use that to go on, and if we need to change it, we'll change it. But generally, I'm available after school Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3 to 3:45, sometimes later, but that's just kind of the default. And then Wednesday before school from 7:15 to 7:45 if you're in the building that day. Again, with everything going on, we may change this during during the hybrid section of the year. But this is kind of the default. Course length. So it's a year-long class, so make sure that you are signed up for both semesters. And you will get college credit at the end of the year. So you don't get credit after each semester. You do have to do 2 semesters of this course to get 1 semester of college psychology. Course objectives. Says students will be prepared to do acceptable work on the advanced placement exam. So it is an AP course. I do teach the class pretty much as if people are going to take the course or are going to take the exam, even though a lot of you won't need to. If you do what you need to do in this class, you should be fine for the AP test. That's always the goal. You can kind of read through these. I'm not going to read them all to you. The thing I would probably that really jumps out to me is being able to apply psychological principles to your own life. So the goal is at the end of the year, you're walking around, you're with your friends, your family, and you're like, oh, that's an example of this. And you can kind of spot all this psychological phenomenon in your lives, and you can use it. So one thing that I always like is when students tell me, like, this class is fun because I can actually use this stuff and take it with me. It's not just stuff I read in a textbook and regurgitated. And we're going to try to have fun because you got to have fun. Learning is important, but I think people learn better when they're having a good time while they're doing it. Some course characteristics. It is a college course, so it might be a little bit different for some of you compared to what you're used to. So you'll want to try to have that college level attitude, college level work habits, and we'll kind of coach you up. We'll let you know what that looks like and how that might be different from a high school class. There is a bit more reading than you might be used to if you haven't taken AP courses, probably in the range of about 20 to 30 pages per week. That could be offset a little bit because with doing hybrid and things like that, I might be doing more videos covering information, but during normal, whatever you want to call normal times, 20 to 30 pages of text per week. So that, it's about 5 pages a night, which it's not too bad. The textbook's pretty good. There's, a lot worse books out there. This is usually, students tell me this is one of their favorite textbooks. Moving on. Some other important points, given what we're going through right now, I actually do teach a completely blended class for AP. So if that's something you're interested in, I think there's actually some room in 8th period. But anyway, I'm going to teach all the classes like that in a blended manner throughout the year, especially early on while we're doing the hybrid. Again, who knows what's going to happen, but even when we're back to normal, so to speak, I will be using some blended elements, some virtual stuff. I feel like I can kind of take the best of that and the best of the face-to-face and kind of use both of them. So we'll use a lot of that throughout the year. And it kind of talks about why I do some of the flipped and blended. It allows greater flexibility. For students that can kind of move ahead faster, it's great for them because they don't have to sit there and listen to me yap about something they already know. They can move ahead. It also kind of frees me up to work with students one-on-one that might need a little bit extra help. So I think, using the technology when appropriate can be a great thing. So some challenges of flipped and blended is that you have to be a little more self-directed. So if you struggle with that, let me know. I'll do my best to kind of keep you in line, so to speak. But I think you'll be okay. But you can kind of read through these to get more of the specifics. The grading policy is pretty much standard, 90, 80, 70, 60, nothing different. You're probably all used to that. DMAC does grade on a 12-point scale, meaning they have pluses and minuses. So if you're someone who it's like, A- isn't good enough, I need to have an A, be cognizant of that, because if you get a 91 at the end of the year, second semester, because second semester is the semester that goes on your college transcript, just the spring. So if you get an A minus, if you get a 91, that's going to be an A minus. Not, it's going to be an A here at JHS, but it's going to be an A minus for DMAC. So just make sure you're aware of that. Everybody always wants to know, do you round grades? Generally, I round at 0.5. So if you had an 89.5 or a 79.5, I do that. One caveat to that is I generally ask that people have done all the assignments. And one big reason for that is that, with the grading system we have where you're spotted 50%, that can, it can inflate things a little bit. So I do ask that people at least have done everything. Now I will take a quick break and have a drink of my nice, refreshing Diet Mountain Dew, which this is a quiz question. So, Diet Mountain Dew. Okay, moving on. What kinds of things are graded? I'm going to be honest. It's good. It's going to be a little bit different this year. Generally, the course grade-wise is almost entirely tests and quizzes and a couple of projects. That might look a little bit different this year, doing things online. I might be more prone to. My light just went off. I might be more prone to grading some smaller things like discussion forums, smaller assignments. So again, try to be flexible with me. I'll be flexible with you. But generally, most of the grade is going to be, tests and quizzes, and then those other things would mostly be just practice to kind of help know, what you need to work on moving forward. So it talks a little bit about the exams. Most of the exams are going to be multiple choice. I will say they're probably a little different than what you're used to if you haven't taken an AP course. So it's not going to be a question like, who was the leader of Germany in World War II? A, Hitler, B, ice cream, C, Skittles. Like these are challenging questions. You kind of have to know your stuff. They're not as able to be BS'd. So you'll get a chance to see those questions early and often about what those kind of look like. We will also have free response questions, kind of written questions. Early in the year, those are a little bit more difficult for people, but after you kind of pick up the skill of what we're asking you to do, generally people end up doing pretty well on those. We'll have a lot of quizzes in here, and part of the reason for that is quizzes actually help you learn. Not only are they a way to measure learning, they're actually a way to encourage and increase learning. So I do a lot of quizzes, and a lot of them won't even be graded, but some of them will. But just kind of let's check and see. We did the lesson. Let's check and see how you're doing with it. Some of those will be reading quizzes. Some of them will just be end of the lesson quizzes. Lots of quizzes. But again, it helps you learn. It also kind of helps reduce the stress of being tested over things. So if the first time you're being tested over material is the test, that's not good. You want to be quizzing yourself early and often. Homework and projects, again, we'll kind of see how the year's going. We do generally try to do a couple of projects throughout the year, but we'll kind of see what kind of limitations we're working with. I'm not going to read all those to you, but there's several that we could do. I don't give a lot of additional homework, like worksheet type stuff, because the reading alone takes a decent amount of time. So I try not to bombard you with extra stuff that just like we're doing it just to do it. But we'll just, again, with the online stuff, we may have to tweak that. But I don't believe in giving people things just to have them do things. Final exam is 15% of the semester grade. That's a district policy. This is always kind of an interesting one. First semester, the final will be comprehensive over all of the first semester, and then second semester, but sometime in May, the final will be over the entire year. It seems very scary, but I promise you, I've done it every single year I've taught this course, which is, I think this is 14 years now, and everybody has lived. You're going to be okay. You're going to do great. Behavior and attendance, you might remember this from last year. JHS put in a behavior grade rubric kind of thing. If you don't remember that, that's a thing that occurred. But basically it comes down to productivity and accountability. You can kind of see the criteria here if you want to pause it and look at it, or download the syllabus on your own time. But basically we're meeting deadlines, we're on task without being redirected all the time, and then you bring your items to class with, you're ready to work. And then you collaborate well with others. Again, that's going to be weird this year with COVID, so we'll just kind of figure it out. Technology, I try to treat people as adults as much as I can. I'm not going to go and say like absolutely no phone use all the time, but think about like if you were at work or with your boss, like would you want to have your phone out all the time? You'd want to minimize that. So I'm asking people to minimize use of phones and other distracting things as much as you can. If you know you're going to have an emergency, let me know, and I'll try to work with you as best as I can. The attendance policy, I'll follow whatever the school follows. Again, it's going to be weird this year with everything going on. This one's interesting. If you miss one or fewer exams, I'll have your 2 lowest quiz scores dropped. That's always kind of cool. And I'm going to change that for this year. So as long as if you miss an exam, because you may not have control over it, I will also, as long as you make it up within a week, I will drop those quizzes too. Retakes. Retakes can be taken for full credit. You have 3 weeks from the day you get your score to do the retake. You can get up to 100%. The one thing I'm asking is that you come in and do those and get help during the allotted times. So there's time set aside to come talk to me about those and to take those. Be nice to each other. Again, it's a weird time we're living in. We're very polarized, but try to listen to each other. Let's not fight over things. Let's seek to understand from one another. So that is a lot of information, and there's more in here, but I feel like I did a nice job of hitting the highlights for you. There's a course outline too if you want to see that. But I'm running out of time here. I've already gone longer than I wanted to. So that's all for now, and we'll talk to you soon, and good luck, AP Psychology students.